I've just wasted 10 minutes that I could have been doing some homework. I could have been reviewing for my math test, but I'm procrastinating. You guys get that? You get that I'm procrastinating? Excellent. Hello. My name is Lizette Mack. I am the program coordinator for Connect for Success. And this is a presentation on procrastination and time management. Did I do my job effectively for about 10 minutes? You think so? Do you guys procrastinate? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Depends on the subject.
Yeah. Okay, here's one. Math.
Not now, because I have it every day, so I only do it
Every day.
If I had it 3 days a week, then I'd be like, eh.
Do you guys procrastinate?
Every so often.
Every so often. What about you back there?
All day, every day.
All day, every day. Okay. What about you?
So I do business most of the time is by procrastinating. Unfortunately.
Okay. Well, since you know what my name is, let me get what your name is. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Ken, and I'm a sophomore year
Okay.
here at HSC.
All right.
Hoping to go to ASU to study history.
History. Okay. Nicely done.
My name's Clara and I'm a procrastinator.
Okay.
My name's Keith. I'm actually in faculty here at MCC, and I just came in because I'm a mentor and I come and say hello since I knew this workshop was going on.
Are you Case?
I am.
You are.
I am. I'm her brother.
Nice to meet you,
Nice to meet
finally.
you.
Okay. Back there.
Hi, I'm Amy.
Hi, Amy.
I'll go next then, I guess. I'm Mel. I'm a student here.
That's, don't make it difficult. It's okay. No worries.
My name is Doug Ash, and this is my first year at MCC.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Thanks.
And lastly,
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm one of the mentors.
excellent. So I'm so glad you guys came out today. Do you think I got an A on my procrastination? Did I do a pretty good job? Hey, I got a selfie in there too.
No, you got two.
Yeah, I did. So, avoiding procrastination and time management, I mean, these are pretty huge topics, and so I'm going to just give you bits and pieces of what you can do to make your life here at MCC just a wee bit easier. Okay, now we had some difficulties with this one. I've never been in this room before, so definitely bear with me. So, I would like for us to watch the YouTube video. Hopefully it samples up.
Ooh, such fun.
Procrastination is due to inadequate time management skills. However, we often procrastinate to avoid something because it's challenging, it's boring, we want it to be perfect, or it's become a habit. Before we can attempt to avoid procrastination, you need to accept that you have a habit of putting things off and understand why that is. Once you have come to these conclusions, follow these 5 tips to avoid procrastination. One of the hardest things for people who procrastinate is beginning work on a difficult task. Promise yourself that you'll commit at least 10 minutes to that task, and after the time is done, you have the option of continuing on with that task, or you can do something else. You will probably find that once you commit to starting, you'll likely complete the task or have a large portion of what you wanted to get done. Difficult assignments may not necessarily be the most time-consuming, but they can be the most intimidating. Although it may be your initial reaction to put these assignments off, do them first. The successful completion of these assignments will both energize and motivate you to do the less complex things. As hard as it may be to admit, people who procrastinate typically seek out distractions. This could be why your house is sparkling clean the day before a big exam. Although temptations will be inevitable, your goal is to minimize or ignore them. Try changing up your study environment. If you study at home and find that there are too many distractions, try a new location such as the library. Be prepared to work. This means having the necessary supplies in your workspace to get the job done. If you don't need your computer for research or anything school related, don't bring it with you. This also means bringing the necessary supplies such as pens and highlighters so you don't avoid studying to get those supplies. Most importantly, don't forget to put your phone on silent or turn it off. By finishing your tasks early, you won't feel guilty about taking breaks and spending time on things you enjoy. These fun things will give you motivation to keep working hard. Knowing what you've accomplished also prevents you from getting stressed about being behind. Scheduled breaks with a time limit are also good because they prevent you from burning out. Try to set and record realistic goals or make a daily to-do list so you're encouraged to keep yourself on track. If there's something you'd like to accomplish tomorrow, do it today. If there's something you'd like to get done today, do it right now. Good luck and get started.
Yay. So, what is procrastination? What do you guys think? Besides this definition up here, what do you think it is? In your own words.
Putting something off.
Not doing what you're supposed to do at that time.
Not doing what you, okay. Anything else?
Doing things at the last moment.
That's a good one. So, let me give you an example. For me, I've had to take a lot of math. And with math, oh, by the way, too, I'm also a math instructor here. And reading was not necessarily my forte. So I would always kind of push it off. So I'm very familiar with procrastination. And at some point in time, it's going to catch up with you. You're going to have an assignment to do, you're going to have to write a paper, you're going to have to do something. And so eventually I realized that it's not effective for me to work in this manner. So what I started to do was, it's like after 15, and you can tell me if you agree with this or not. About 15 minutes, I started thinking about other stuff. Oh, I gotta wash the car. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Anybody else like that?
Mm-hmm.
Couple of people. I go squirrel. I'm like, oh, wait, what's this? And then I don't remember what I just read. Anybody else like that? Oh my gosh, it used to irritate me to no end. So how I fixed it for me was I started reading in 15-minute increments. So I would read. So I would literally have my math out, I would have my reading, I would read for 15 minutes, and then I would do 30, 40 minutes of math. Then I get done with that, I would read another 15 minutes. So usually by the end of the night, I've read about 2 hours, which was probably enough for what I needed to get done. But it wasn't until I got a bad grade till I realized this method is not working at all. So I had to change up how I was studying. So what are some of the psychology of procrastination? Do you know that a majority of students have it? 25 to 75% of college students procrastinate. Do you guys believe that? Only one of you. Okay, that's good. We all do it. Okay, so let's step out of the range of college students, since I have some mentors in here, I can kind of pick on them a little bit. So, as mentors, as professionals, as people in the work industry, at this point in your life, do you procrastinate at all?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I try not to, but it happens.
It happens. So it's just not students, it happens to the best of us. So if you begin to set up a schedule for yourself, and she talked about a to-do list, that will help you stay on task. So according to Ferrari, Johnson, and McGraw, there are several major cognitive disorders that lead to academic procrastination. Students tend to overestimate how much time they have left to perform a task. Has that ever happened? Oh, I can get it done in 15 minutes, 2 hours later. Overestimate how motivated they will be in the future. Underestimate how long certain activities will take. My personal favorite, mistakenly assume that they need to be in the right frame of mind to get the project done. Do you think there's a right frame of mind? You kind of have to be like Nike and just do it. Really. Because the more you delay it, the bigger it gets. It's almost like a big elephant in the room or a balloon. So you delay. You delay again. You delay again. Now you have this huge balloon and you don't know what to do with it. It overwhelms you. However, if you begin to take a small portion at a time and work with that, you can overcome that. It minimizes the anxiety that's associated with that. Does that make sense? You guys are so quiet. The negative impact of procrastination. So some researchers did some work, 2007, and found at the beginning of the semester, students procrastinators reported less illness and lower stress level than non-procrastination. This changed dramatically by the end of the term when procrastinators reported higher level of stress and illness. By putting things off. Have you ever been in a group? You have to do a group project. Uh-oh. I saw that look. What was that?
I hate group projects.
Ah, why? Why do you hate group projects?
It always seems like someone is always, like two end of perspective. Like one is, bugging you about getting this done, and one is just dragging their feet. And it doesn't ever seem like there's a nice middle ground.
Okay. Anybody else?
I just hate doing more work than I have to. I hate doing the other person's work because they didn't do it. So, I'm always the guy who does everything twice as much as all the other group members because no one else does anything. You're like, oh, you have to do this. I'm fine, I'll do it. I'll deal with research.
So once you've done that, once you have these people, you have someone who's really overzealous, hey, let's get this done, woo! And then you have the person that, do I have to do this? And then you have a person who's going to do twice as much work because your grade is relying on it, right? So how did that make you feel? Did it stress? Did it agitate you? Did it frustrate you? Any of those feelings? This is why in college, honestly, you cannot delay. The best thing that you can do is to work ahead. For example, my math students, when I teach them, I tell them they need to be 2 weeks ahead at all times. If you are 2 weeks ahead in your math class, or in your accounting class, or in whatever class you're in, you're reviewing your work, you're coming to class, your teacher is going over that work, so if you had any questions, this is a perfect time to ask him or her those questions. And then you're going to have some homework, so do your homework. So by the time you finish, you reviewed once, your teacher's gone over it, you reviewed again, it's time for a test. You've touched that subject at least 4 to 5 times. Life happens. Say you get sick. You miss a couple of days of school. If you were 2 weeks ahead, is that going to really affect you too much? No, because you're ahead. So that's the idea of working ahead. You're saving yourself. Additionally, you are always constantly reviewing. If you do that, especially with math, because that's everybody's favorite subject. Not so much. So, if you are doing these things, staying ahead, working together in your group and trying to make sure that everybody's on the same page, less stressful, you're getting your work done. And here's a little side note. If you are doing all the work, I believe you should inform the teacher that X, Y didn't do as much as they needed to do and you have to do double work. That's not telling, that's not snitching, that is telling the truth. Does that make sense? And the one thing you should never be afraid of is to approach your teacher and let him or her know what's going on. That make sense? Awesome.
Yeah, but couldn't there be a counteraction to that? So, like, for me, if I get, if I read ahead and I go over to class and they go over something I read 2 weeks ago, I'm like, why am I here? I reviewed this over myself and I understand it.
You're always
Yeah.
going to consistently be 2 weeks ahead. So by the time the semester is almost over and you're ready for your finals, do you remember what you covered the first week of class 16 weeks ago? 15 weeks ago? You don't remember. So at that time, if you're 2 weeks ahead, that 2 weeks, you can begin to review from what you did from day one up to current. Because what is a final? Does it just cover one section?
So-
Typically, it covers the entire, unless your instructor tells you it's only for A and B instead of A through Z. But it's a good habit to have, trust me, not just with math, with everything, especially as it pertains, and you're getting ready to go to ASU.
Yeah.
You see this small class?
That's not an issue. Because
It won't be like that. And sometimes it's a little bit challenging to get access to your instructor. You might have a GTA, a graduate teaching assistant, that you have to go to. So when you're ahead and you have those opportunities that you can be in front of an instructor, you can get those unanswered questions answered at that time. Okay? Okay. So this is what we want to show you. Dominique, may you please give everyone please? I am the type of person, because I know there are different types of learners. There are auditory, visual, and kinesthetic. I always like for you to have something tangible you can take with you. And typically, do you remember the first time you had flashcards? No? Not when you were learning multiplication?
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Not really first time.
Well, okay. So the times that you may have had flashcards. Well, because we have a tendency to forget sometimes, I wanted to make sure that we give you some flashcards to remember how to keep yourself on task. Remind yourself that there's always more to be done that can be done. Then ask yourself if you're getting the right things done. Does that make sense? And I'm not going to read them all, but make a to-do list. And I do have a to-do list for you. They're all together.
I was just showing her that I make to do it every morning. And I bring it up to the school and I want this one with this one.
Nice. Oh, did you put these in sets, Dominique?
No, but it's possible.
Okay. She's going to hand you out a couple, or 3 to be exact, handouts. So I'm going to let you just go through these. The handouts for your to-do list, because everybody is not the same. I have 3 different types for you. One is a typical to-do list, which you can just simply label. And if you have your top, say 6 things, is that your number? 6 or 7? Or is it mini?
On here?
Uh-huh.
So, 5 or 6.
5 or 6, perfect. So you can write that on there. And then you have the next one, which I don't have any at this moment. Your task list. So if that one works for you, then feel free to use that one. And then your last one has a little bit more information on it. So it has more details. What are you doing? What time are you doing
Breakfast,
it?
lunch, and dinner.
Oh.
I like this one.
Okay, that's exactly why I did what I did. Because some people are simplistic. Some people just want to write it down, let me write my 16s down, and that's it. Then you have more detail-oriented people. Okay, I have 8 hours. What am I going to do with it? So whichever one works for you, that's what I wanted to make sure that you have, okay? So, any questions about your flashcards or your handouts that I gave you? If you like them, great. You don't like them, great. Give them to somebody else and somebody else can use them.
See, Sandy's on printable to do this background. I got 80 copies of it.
Or don't forget, how else can you keep organized?
I actually tried doing that, I don't like it.
You don't like
Type
it?
in and-
Okay. So, and some people like, anybody keep their life here? Because I know I do.
I am old-fashioned.
I'm both, actually. I'm both paper and phone. So whichever method works best for you, then definitely use that method. Okay? All right. Any questions for me? They're so quiet. Has anybody heard of this before? No?
Something like it.
I've seen that before.
You seen the little tomato
Yeah,
timer
yeah,
thingy,
yeah, I have.
kind of? Let's kind of see what this is.
Is a simple yet very effective way to improve your work and study habits. The basic requirement of this technique is to set the kitchen timer to 25 minutes. But this is just the beginning. In order to become a certified Pomodoro master, you need to achieve the following 6 objectives. First, find out how much effort an activity requires you by monitoring how many Pomodoros you need in order to accomplish a specific task. Second, learn to protect your Pomodoro from the internal and external interruptions.
Sophie.
Third, make accurate estimations of how many Pomodoros you need for a certain activity. Fourth, use your Pomodoro time not just to work on your task, but spend a few minutes for recap and the last ones for review. Fifth, set a timetable according to your to-dos, to your time, or even to the season. This is good for organising work and also for creating more free time. Sixth, once you have completed these objectives, find your own personal objective, such as being more efficient or improving the quality of your work. For example, a writer could track more accurately what he's doing during a Pomodoro, or a team may want to find out how good its cooperation is. But remember, you have to choose your own final objective. In order to achieve the best results, the objectives should be done incrementally. In other words, if you didn't complete an objective, don't move ahead to the next one. Continue trying to do better with the current objective until you feel that you've mastered it. For more in-depth tips, read the original book, record your progress, and become a certified Pomodoro master. PomodoroTechnique.com. I love my time. 2 hours and 43 minutes were saved using the Pomodoro technique in the making of this video.
So what do you think about that method?
It's kind of rough for me because I can always say, okay, well, I'm going to spend this long time doing a certain project, but if I don't feel comfortable with it, I don't like moving forward. And, you know, it says, you know, not to move forward until you got that, but sometimes, even like when it comes to math, I'll start feeling comfortable and then they'll switch it up at the very end. And then it's just like someone just whacked me over the head with some, you know, the dumb that or something. And I'm like, what?
Okay.
And then I feel like all that time that I was going to be doing just on this just got wasted. 'Cause it's just like, I don't know, I like doing things to how I don't know, like, I like having my own, not necessarily I don't like having a time frame. That's when my stress levels kind of shoot up. That's, I think, one reason I'm horrible at test taking is because someone says, okay, you only have this amount of time, and then I'm like, I freak out.
Okay. I understand that. So, do you recall me saying I had math anxiety as well? And I'm never afraid to tell people that because of what my educational background is. So, by trade, I am an electrical engineer. So, I can't even begin to tell you how much math I had to take. It was so much math that there are no numbers. There are just symbols at that point. Yes. However, because the desire to have my degree was greater than me failing, that's why I succeeded. So I used to tell myself it's either degree or death. Pick one. That's how serious it was for me. And in that whole process, and getting my bachelor's in engineering, my mother passed away. So then I had to make another decision. Do I quit, run away, or do I forge forward? So in those times, you have to push forward. So at that point, there was no math anxiety for me. It was all about graduation, getting there. And I understand a lot of people have an issue. Soon as I tell my students, okay, you have 50 minutes, and they already freak out. But if you're doing 2 weeks ahead, if you're practicing every day, eventually, when they give you those surprise problems, and not just for math, for whichever topic, it's not going to scare you so much because you've practiced. You have enough in your math toolbox. So whatever is given to you, you just off the top. You're like, oh, okay, I need this, this, and that. You're so confident that there's no time for fear or doubt or anxiety to kick in. Does that make sense?
For me, it's actually the opposite. Like, I actually need a time. Because for me, if I have all the time in the world, I'm like, okay, I procrastinate. If I have time, just do by this time, at this time, but okay, I can do it. And I'm disciplined.
Okay.
But the only thing I need to do is just do the head. I'm always just going with the flow. And then I have to do the head, so when I go back, I can have more time to study more things like hard time on rather than just saying, oh, okay, I don't get it, but I have to move forward.
So when you have to take any test, there's always a time test. So here's my question. If you had an essay to write in 60 minutes, would that give you anxiety, or is it just math?
No, I do the anxiety too.
Both?
Mhm.
Okay, so it's straight across the board.
Mhm.
Okay, so what I suggest is, again, just like I said before, working ahead. And remember, I was like you, I had anxiety. So I had to figure out how to bypass that before my brain can kick in and say, you don't, and I'm already done with my problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah, what else helped me, in the class I'm taking for math, it's an everyday class, so we're doing math every day. And then
So 50 minutes.
So when we took the test, and it didn't put it as a test, I just got out another assignment, this new homework assignment, and I did. So if I hear test, I'm like, oh, test.
Oh, so if you heard quiz, would that make it better?
No, because it's more than an assignment.
More than an assignment.
So like if it's homework, I'm like, okay, I do the book, I do the homework, and I'm done. When I hear the word test, I hear the word quiz. I can write essays. Those are not a problem. Like quiz or test, especially the test.
Okay.
So I walked into class. I was like, okay, it's not a test. Sit down. He allows us to listen to music, and I just do it.
So do you self-talk?
Yeah.
Yes. Self-talk, not self-doubt.
No, self-doubt.
Okay.
Self-talk.
So that was one of the things that I did as well too. Just because you have to move forward and you're gonna have to take a test, a quiz, or something for the rest of your life as you progress on your educational journey. So at this point, I just say, acknowledge that, okay, I'm not comfortable with taking tests. I don't like the time factor of it, but I am going to do it. To me, it's about confidence. And again, I go back to it, it does not matter what it is. I also teach GED as well, and it's the same thing. And this I know, when my GED students come to MCC and they test into math 120 and 150, and they've been told that they could never do math, it's wrong. I had 2 of my students, GED, come here, test into math 150, presidential scholarship. Most of my people, GED, they come in at 120. And there are some who come in at 092. In their English, they start at 100, 101. So, but this is me encouraging, motivating, and self-talk, and they have to talk to themselves. So that's kind of how that is. Time management. What do you know about it? Oh,
I am good at this.
how many seconds are there in one day? One day. Anyone? This is my goodie bag. There are goodies
Can
in
I
here.
multiply something?
Oh, she pulled out the count.
I know how many are in an hour.
Nice.
Okay, who can tell me? I got some stuff in here.
86,400.
Nicely done. How'd you figure that out?
Because
Woo, this turned
I
into a
know
math
there are
class.
3,600 in an hour.
Oh, did you guys know that? You're like, no, I don't. Okay. Let's watch this.
Walmart grocery has really helped my budget.
Walmart
You can buy
Walmart.
brand name products,
Walmart
or you
grocery.
can buy great value products. The quality of the food is great. I buy
I've never
all my
seen that.
produce
You ever seen
there,
that
my
Walmart?
apples, my bananas.
The Walmart.
It's just been a great thing for my family.
Pick up thing, I never saw that anyone was a good one. Never tasted it. That's what I'd say.
Imagine there is a bank that credits your account each morning with $86,400.
If you tell me what the first color
It carries over no balance from day to day. And every evening, it deletes whatever part of the balance you failed to use during that day. What would you do? Draw out every cent. Each one of us has such a bank. It's called time. Every morning it credits you with 86,400 seconds. And every night it writes off as lost whatever you have failed to invest wisely. It carries over no balance. It allows no overdraft. Each day it opens a new account for you. If you fail to use the day's deposit, the loss is yours. There is no going back. There is no drawing against the tomorrow. You must live in the present on today's deposit, invested in every opportunity. The clock is running. You've got to make the most of today, right here, right now.
Right now, right here, 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 right now, right here,
To realize the value of 1 year, ask a student who failed a grade. To realize the value of 1 month, ask a mother who gave birth to a premature baby. To realize the value of 1 week, ask the editor of a weekly newspaper. To realize the value of 1 hour, Ask a person who just missed a train. To realize the value of 1 second, ask a person who narrowly avoided an accident. To realize the value of 1 millisecond, ask the person who took the silver medal in the Olympics. Time waits for no one. Follow up every lead. Make every second count. Always be closing. Every opportunity missed equals money lost. Remember, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present.
So what do you think about that?
Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm all hyped up.
I have a question. The time that you spent yesterday, can you get that back today?
No.
Nothing that you could do? No, I want to go to the master of time and ask to get my time back? No? Next question. Can you always make new friends? Can you make more money? Can you get your time back? No. It's a commodity that you cannot get back. So you should use it wisely. And the reason I'm saying this is because typically it's, when you come to MCC, it is a 2-year university. And when you stop and leave, and then you come back, and then you leave, can you make up that time that you lost? Can you make it up? No. What people try to do is take more classes. And that's not always necessarily a good thing. So you want to be cognizant of your time and how you use your time. Okay? If we told you at the very beginning when you enrolled in MCC that you can be done in 1 year, but you have to do all of these things and never drop out of school, do you think you could do it? He says yes. But life happens, right? But what if you need to step out of the program? Hey, if you finish, you can graduate in a year. Would that entice you even more so?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that?
You can do it in a year, you can graduate in a year, and we will give you $50,000 to go to ASU. Yes? He's like, yes, everybody's like, no. Why the hesitation?
I'm a single mother.
Okay. What about you guys back then? Or are you just here for the ride? I'm like, oh, I'm just going to school because my parents told me I had to. They either said work or go to school.
So you said you can complete it in the 1 year, right?
1 year.
Yeah.
1 year.
I think it's possible. It's just every once in a while things come up.
Life happens.
Yeah. But I think I'd be able to do it.
Got 2 possibilities.
I think I would do it.
Oh, now I got 30.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it the $50,000?
Yeah.
Oh, it was the $50,000.
Yeah,
So money incentive.
That's enough. That's motivation for me. Not gonna lie.
Well, see, for me, I'm planning for my PhD, so I want to get the stuff, basic stuff out of the way so I can get through and everything.
So then is time important to you then?
Yeah, time's important for me the things. So I don't want to waste my time doing something that I really need. I want to do something that I need to get ahead further. So, like now, like last semester, I missed out. I was out a semester, because something else happened, and life happened.
Life happens.
And I was really, really upset with myself. Like, for me, I had to be in school or I had to be doing something. I didn't find a job, I didn't go to school to do anything, so I was sitting at home all day doing nothing.
Okay.
So it just, I got so like depressed, I guess. I didn't do anything. So now I'm in school, I like it. I meet new people, I in class every day, I do homework, it's hard sometimes. I like to do something. I'm the guy that needs to be doing something. So if I can do a school for a year and give me money and blah, 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 I'll do it.
Okay. Well, along that same avenue, let me just throw in that, we give scholarships away, Connect for Success, up to $1,000. Do you know that I didn't give any scholarships away last semester? Not one. Not one.
Don't tell me because nobody applied for them. Because that would be sad.
Honestly, we had about 5 people apply, but they didn't follow
There we go.
the guidelines.
But only 5 out of how many?
Last semester, I had over 500 students. This semester, I have, I say, a comfortable 750.
That's a shame.
So,
What's the C4S program?
that's Connect for Success program. Really quick, because I know we're gonna probably run out of time. I definitely want to get to this. So this is a time management calculator, because most of the time people say, I don't know where my time is going, I don't know what's going on. I'm doing all my English, I'm doing all my accounting, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do, and I don't understand why I'm not getting a good grade. Okay. So, can I just ask some questions and you just kind of throw me some answers and then we'll kind of go from there. So number 1, on average, how many hours do you sleep each 24 hours, including afternoon naps? Who gets a nap? Oh, I don't get a nap. Okay, so how many hours do you think? Throw me out something.
I did about 5.
I did about 8.
Wow.
I get 6.
7.
So is it fair to say, I'm gonna try not to do decimals, so can we say about 6? Is that fair? About 6? Okay. All right, 6. Next. It's not on. Okay. On average, how many hours do you engage in grooming activities?
Grooming?
Grooming.
I'll say about 30 minutes.
1 minute. What? I heard 1 minute and I heard 30 minutes and I'm kind of scared right now. So I'm going to make sure I stay up here. How long? You shave.
Oh,
you
shower and everything?
Please, please,
Oh, 2 hours.
please. Okay, so 2 hours? Okay, some of the ladies are like, what, 2 hours? What? Okay, ladies, come on, jump in.
I do it an hour.
An hour. An hour?
Half an hour.
Let's say 1 hour.
45.
On average, how many hours do you spend on meals, including preparation and cleanup time? Did you say 5?
No,
Oh.
I don't cook, so
Oh, okay.
I either go out or I have my grandma makes me some.
Okay. I need a number.
I've done this with cooking for myself and without cooking. With cooking, it's 3.5 hours. I can get 3 meals done prepped. Without cooking, spending money and going to fast food, probably 2 hours easy. With
Around
eating,
there, too.
traveling,
Okay.
buying the food, all that's about 2 hours. a day.
2 hours? 2 hours. Okay. How much time do you spend commuting to and from campus, and how many times do you do this a week, including the amount of time it takes to park and walk from your car or the bus stop to class?
So 5 days a week? 5 hours.
So it takes me about 30 minutes to get home. No.
That's what I love about these classes. No matter what class I'm in, you still gotta do math.
Well, I have a bike, so
Okay.
it takes about 10 minutes to bike here.
So I need a
That's
number.
20 minutes just to.
5 hours.
5 hours?
A week,
The whole
right?
week, yeah.
This is a week, right?
During a week.
A week?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So how much?
about 5.
5 hours.
5 hours. Okay. On average, how many hours a day, sorry, let me move that up so you can see the rest. On average, how many hours a day do you spend running errands?
2.
2, yeah.
2. Oh, I see the twos, okay. We are 2. Okay. Oh, I guess I should have been multiplying. Multiply. Okay, on average, how many hours do you spend each week doing co-curricular activities? Student organization, working, church, date night, dating, whatever. How much? 4?
Each week,
Oh, each
How
week?
many?
about 10 hours a week.
10? Okay, on average, how many hours a week do you work a job?
75.
No,
That's what I'm doing right now.
you're gonna tip the scale, Ken, I can't put you in this one.
Darn it.
I do about 25 to 30.
25. 50? Woo, okay. We have ballers in
It's a week.
I wish.
here. Okay, so can we do maybe 30?
Yeah, 30.
30? Is that reasonable for everyone?
75 a week?
People cooking and spending
He does.
here. Okay, how many hours do you spend in class each week?
Oh.
6. That's really
So how many hours?
Just in class or at school?
In class?
30.
5, 4, 10,
A day?
A week.
A week.
a week.
That's
How much?
30.
30?
Yeah. 4 hours, so that's way more than 30.
Okay. On average, how many hours per week do you spend with friends, going out, watching TV, going to parties, etc.?
About 10.
10. Click the add. Click the subtract.
That guy went over his time.
Ah, minus
Use what it was.
Okay.
a whole day. There are 168 hours in a week. Now you can click the subtraction. So all of us are given the same amount of time, right? It's true, whether you, yeah, I promise. What we do with our time. Are we losing a whole day?
You might want to check your math with the commuting. I think it's supposed to be 1 times 5.
I see, this is my listening skills were on. You said. I read and I put the numbers in. So which one? Commuting. This one?
It's an hour a day, and then it would be times 5 a week. It's like 1 and then 5, not 35 hours of commuting a week. I hope not.
So what do we want to, this one, correct?
1 and then 5.
All right, let's change it. Let's multiply it. Let's change our numbers. Huh,
That's free time.
4 hours a day. 4 hours for study, yeah, that's about right. Maybe about 4 hours a day.
questions?
Are you,
No, go ahead.
I usually go bed around 9 or 10, so I do everything before 9 and
In the morning or
then
at
No,
night?
9
or-
at night and get up around 6:30 or 4 to 7.
Okay,
I still have time, I watch an hour of TV and then get ready. So the whole ready process is 2 hours. I get up, watch a little TV, make my bed, and I do a little laundry, and I take a shower, and I get out, and that's the big process.
ladies, is that easy for us? I gotta know. No.
And then when it's cooler out, I'm not doing my way to walk.
Single mom, don't you spend most of your time getting your little ones together and homework? Oh, I forgot, and now you're running back and forth, and you're in the car, and then you got to get out the car, go get back there, and you, all of that. A little bit more time?
Yeah. I have to wake up at 5 in order to get her and me out the door on time, so she's not late for school.
Okay.
And then she's in bed by 8, and from like 8 to 11 I study.
3 hours. That's solid. Okay. So, what do you guys think about this? Have you ever thought about it this way, maybe?
Well, I usually try to plan my day, you know, and I still have time to do maybe little social things and everything, you know. So what I do is like, if I'm hopefully usually done with homework by like 7 or 8, and then I think, oh, okay, I should go out, and I go out, and go home, and then do a little more homework and go to bed, or is it okay? I have class until noon every day. I'll do homework until around 2 or 3. I'll go out and have dinner with friends, come back around 7 or 8, do a little homework until 9 or 10, go to bed.
So you break your times up into portions of the day.
But I don't do any homework past 10 o'clock.
Gotcha. Well, I want to run through this. Average student, 108 hours, credit hours, 36 hours, 56 hours. Woo, 8 hours of sleep, that's really good. 104 hours, what are you doing with the other 64? But that's not including work, right? So I'm not gonna have time. Oh, I do want to run through this really quick because I have a handout. Everyone knows these certain things. So this is the Eisenhower principle, Dwight Eisenhower. Do you know who that was?
Yeah, he was president and
Yeah.
president, first post-war president.
There you go. Oh, that's right, my history buff in here. Yeah. Okay, so we have 4 quadrants, just like mine. Urgent, not urgent, not important, and important. Firefighting, quality time, distractions, and time wasting. So I wanted to kind of give you this so you can kind of see an idea of if you really start to kind of work on this and try to pinpoint where you're spending your time, you will probably find out that you have more time. There is a video, but I decided not to show it, where there's the big rocks, the little rocks, the sand, and the water. And the whole premise behind that is if you put your big rocks in first, which are the most important things, you're going to run out of space in the jar. Okay? However, if you begin to think systematically, okay, how am I going to do this? The reason we avoid the big rocks is because the sand is easy stuff. Oh, Sandra asked me to come over. I'll just run to her house really quick and it's 2 hours later. And you know you have something to do. Oh, let me just talk to Susan really quick on the phone and it's an hour later. You can't get that time back. Okay. So this is the Dwight I can't even say it. Eisenhower process. So if you want to try this out, this is it. Now, I know some of you, which I did the same thing, I'm like, okay, these people are talking about time management, avoiding procrastination, now they're giving me this, now they're giving me that. It wasn't until I took all this stuff seriously, because I can pretty much guarantee you to earn your bachelor's, to earn your master's, you're just not going to do it just having free time and not having some kind of structure in your life. Okay? So, are there any questions for me? Questions? Okay, great. So, Connect for Success, so let me now answer that question. Connect for Success is a mentoring program that started back in 2011. The program has now been around for about 5 years, 4 or 5 years. This program was started by Dr. Pan and some people in the executive staff. The whole premise behind this program was when students have come to this campus for the very first time, or you were here, you left, now it's 15 years later, now you're coming back. The idea is to assign a mentor to you. This mentor will serve as a support system for you. They will be with you for the entire semester. How you guys communicate is completely up to you. I do require 2 times that you meet face-to-face. The first time, I pay for lunch for you. So I'll give your mentor a voucher. They will take you to lunch. The end of year celebration is where you will see the mentor again, as well as Dr. Pan. And once you complete the program, you'll get a certificate of completion. The other 4 times you can Skype, you can call each other, stop by face to face, whatever you guys decide that you want to do is completely up to you. And in order to be eligible for the scholarships, you have to be a part of the Connect for Success program. And as you can clearly see, hopefully everyone has picked up one of these. You can see all the requirements are listed here. Also, you will also see the deadline date that's listed there. Up to $1,000. That's nothing to sneeze at. How many classes would that pay for?
At least 2.
4.
3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Mhm. So that's what the scholarship program is. The other handout that was back there are the save the dates for the workshops that we have upcoming. So the next one is critical thinking, math anxiety, and then October, save the dates will be out this week. Okay? Math anxiety. That's the one I teach. I will keep you engaged, I promise. But when you walk away from that workshop, you will have some tools to help you overcome your math. Okay? Any questions for me? If you could please, there was a survey, I think that's back there, I don't have one up here. If you can go ahead and fill that out and then give it to my assistant Dominique, I would greatly appreciate it. I thank you so much for coming. I hope you learned something new. You have something tangible. You are writing, and if you have any questions, I believe my business card is back there as well. And
Got one?
see, there's a little, I just didn't have one to hold up.
Oh,
okay, that's okay. So is anyone here by means of their instructor to give them extra credit? Okay. Make sure you put your instructor's name at the very top of the survey.
What's the survey?
I have mine.
Oh, yeah.
But she's been asking for
Just one?
Who is
For
it?
him too.
Freddie?
Freddie? Freddie, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, just put Freddie.
See, easy enough.
Sure. Well, yeah, because whenever I do time management,
Yeah.
because when I went to medical field, we were supposed to have 15 minutes for each patient. And it's not realistic.
It's not.
So I'm just like, I don't know.
Have
Concept
you
is
tried
great,
it for 30 days? Can you get that far?
but I can definitely try it.
Because you need to form a habit.
Like, well, the thing is, like, most of the time, after I get out of my math class, on Tuesdays and Thursdays are my light days, and I made it possible to where after 12 o'clock, I had no classes.
Okay,
So
great.
I spend, it varies from what I can remember from when I took a math class over 3 years ago.
Okay.
Most of the time I spend either 1 to sometimes 5 or even 6 o'clock there.
From noon to
Mhm.
that time? Oh my gosh.
And so,
I've been to math.
and then on
Do you
Monday,
switch
Wednesday.
subjects?
No.
You do math for 6 hours or 5 hours?
And I still failed.
Oh, it's too much. It's too much. 2 hours, 2.5 hours, stop.
Yeah.
Take a 30-minute break. You can almost switch subjects. So say you had sociology, stop, eat, snack. Your body needs fuel.
Oh, I'll have
Feel-
Snickers bar and
No, what she said, Snickers bar.
It becomes like seriously, they have
You need some
Dr.
protein. You need
Pepper.
something to get your mind going. So then after you have your snack, you take
Play
a
with the
break,
little one.
then switch subjects. Something that maybe you can read, not something that has calculation and it's logical and it's that. You need to switch. And then do that for like an hour or so, but I'm hoping that you're eating somewhere in there. But I just think 6 hours is way, way too much.
I will spend more than 2 hours on math. Never.
But this is the thing about any class. I can tell he probably picks up things a little bit faster and you don't. Okay, I'm a 3-4 person. I'm not afraid to tell you that because of what I've done. However, increments, 6 is too much, 5 is too much. Break it down, 2.5 hours, take a break, eat, relax, take selfie, call your daughter, whatever it is. Just do it, go onto our Instagram page, check us out, and then do something else for a little while, and then come back to it. But don't sit on it. That's way too much. Way too much. Try that.
I do like think, because yeah, we haven't even gone over chapter, what, 6, or 5.6? Like today we went over 6.4, I turned that homework in today.
What is it? What is the topic?
It's math 1.
120?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So like
just.
the section we went over today, I turned in that homework in
Tell us
today.
it's not
It's like right now I'm
column
working
numbers.
on stuff, like today I did half the homework what we're doing tomorrow.
Okay.
Just to try to pick myself up and try to like you said, like I go to him like most every Tuesdays and Thursdays and be like, okay, I don't get this.
Are you using Smart Thinking that's free, that you don't have to pay for?
What's smart thinking?
Smart Thinking is a whiteboard interaction. So say you had a problem.
Oh, it's through Canvas, isn't it?
No, it's just at MCC.
Like I'm determined to get an A. I don't care what I need to do. I'm determined to get that
So, okay, good.
A. Like I'm sorry, like
Good.
I just, no, I
No.
I want my GPA as
You
best as
have
I
a
can.
goal. You see, and that's part of it. You have your goal. You know what you want to do. This is what I want to do.
Mhm.
Death or degree?
Yeah.
Death or degree? And I'm alive. So I did it. So say you had a problem with linear equations.
Which I do. But I feel like the more I practice it, the better.
What did I just write this on? A whiteboard.
Uh-huh.
You will have a tutor on Smart Thinking. You will type. It's live.
Okay.
How do I solve this problem? They'll do your introductions, and then he or she will begin to walk you through this problem.
Okay.
It's free.
That sounds a lot more efficient than YouTube and trying to figure out what to put in.
Again, this is what I give you in math anxiety, but I don't want you to wait that far. Go to MCC.
Okay.
Go to, actually go to tutoring.
Yeah.
Type in tutoring. On the
Okay.
left nav, left navigation, you'll see Smart Thinking. Click on Smart